Monday night ranking the loudest you've heard that building?
Yeah, the thing that happens when you're coaching is sometimes you try to block things out, and you're present in the moment, and then there's those times where just you kind of lose track of everything, and it just kind of is overwhelming. And I think in that moment, specifically when Heisy hit that three, again, I don't know how to judge how many decibels this or the volume that or whatever, but that was one of the most spirited moments ever in Hilton Coliseum. And I've seen some great ones, some great shots, some great comebacks, been part of some great wins, and that was one that we should all cherish for a long time. Our fans should feel really proud about the environment they created that night and the energy that they gave us to be able to come back with deficit and find a way to win. So really a special evening.
You talk about it being a special evening. You had a couple former players, 2 guys in the NBA there to celebrate it with you. How much of that is kind of like a culmination of the growth of the program and the health of the program, that you can welcome those guys back during All-Star Week and beat a top 2 team in the country and everything like that?
Yeah, what's great is we love when our guys come back, and especially guys doing as well as Keyshawn and Kurdar, that they make the choice to come back to Ames for that All-Star break when they could go essentially anywhere. And it speaks to how awesome our fans are. It speaks to their love for this experience. And to me, to watch people honor them and tell them how much they're appreciated and valued, and for them to feel that energy is really cool. And I talked to those guys after we wrapped up with our team in the locker room about how awesome it is that they're back, and that they should feel great about it and they should feel celebrated. And I think our fans do such a great job of that. So obviously there's some of the older guys, the Niangs and the Naz Longs and the Matt Thomases, and Tyrese Halliburton's obviously back a lot, but we love to see those guys come back, and it's awesome to see the interaction with our fans. It really is. It's really cool.
At the same time, you also had recruits there as well. How much of it is a culmination of what your program can continue to be if it's able to stay healthy and grow?
Yeah, I mean, look, we set out every day to work as hard as we can with great people, and I think when you do that and you keep your head down, you stay focused, you can accomplish some great things. So right now we're in this season and in this moment, trying to maximize what we can get out of practice each and every day, and then out of the film session and the weight room and all those things. And we know that if you got great people and you keep doing the hard work and you keep your head down every single day, that that special things are possible. And so we're just going to keep doing that work, and we're going to hope that not only with our season and our games, that with recruiting and other things, that people take note and that we continue to develop as we move forward.
What are concerns about BYU?
Yeah, obviously they're a prolific offensive team. I mean, there's not a good answer for how to guard him. It's not a one-person job. His free throw rate is, the numbers are off the charts. His ability to create his own shot, score the basketball is at such a high level. And then you got Rob Wright, who's one of the best scoring guards in all the country. He's got such great speed, his confidence in his shot-making ability. And so those 2 guys are, such tough covers one-on-one, such difficult covers. And in transition, they're difficult, certainly on the offensive, after they get an offensive rebound, but even in the half court, they're just guys that are really difficult to guard one-on-one. And the other guys around them understand their role. They know what they need to do, and they know how they need to play, whether it's a catch-and-shoot player or a guy that is on the glass or whatever. And I think Kevin Keita, he's shown us in the past how dominant he can be. So we have so much respect for him, and especially he came in here last year on our court and dominated the board. So just they've got some really special talents. They've got a lot of pride in their program, and they're a team that we know going back home they're going to be hungry for a win.
Are they a little bit different team than maybe what you saw last night without Saunders? Are they attacking a little different, or what do you anticipate seeing there?
Well, obviously Saunders has been one of the most steady guards in this conference for years, and a guy that can make shots, who can cut, who rebounds well, does so many things. So, of course, if you're them, you want him out there, and it's unfortunate that the injury transpired. So, as far as I think teams get to a point in the season and you get used to playing a certain way, and then once you develop that style, you're hopeful that maybe guys off the bench or different guys can step into larger roles, whether that be Davis or whether it be, the guys that they're shot makers, the guys that they bring off the bench. So like, I would say there wasn't a ton different, but in terms of when you don't have Saunders out there and his ability to shoot and space the floor, his ability to cut late in the clock, his defensive rebounding, certainly it's a factor.
You talk a lot about how much you guys value off the court time together. How does that inform your thinking about a road trip like this where you guys are going to be together for 4 or 5 days, whatever it is?
Yeah, no, it's a great opportunity. I mean, our guys do such a great job connecting on their own, and we try to be intentional and the time that we spend as well. And this is the one time this year where we do have this opportunity, and I think our guys are in a really good place with each other and continuing to make those investments or deposits where you can spend time when you're on the road. You can watch a game together. You can go do an activity together. Go have a meal. I think that only strengthens and enhances those bonds and relationships. And we know as we move forward at this point in the season, how important being that together team, being that connected team on and off the court really is.
Is the timing pretty good for that, where you get like one last chance to do that before it's crunch time?
Yeah, I'd say so. I think it is great timing. Most definitely that right now it's a good opportunity for us to get out and do it and spend that time together, and then come home and 3 more regular season games and conference tournaments. So late in the season to have that opportunity is certainly a good thing.
Why do you think Nate Heisy wasn't recruited at a top level out of high school?
I'm not totally familiar with his recruiting when he came out of high school, like when I believe I was, in Las Vegas at that point. But my guess is, being from a little bit of a smaller town and not, not getting as much exposure probably had something to do with it. But I mean, again, man, he has been so terrific for us. I mean, and again, as when he came here and started summer workouts, I mean, you just see what a terrific player he is and how all the ways that he can impact winning. So I don't know exactly why or why not. I just know that I'm really, really glad he's on our team.
At what point did you realize, you always talk about how much you believe in him, that he was capable of helping you like he did this weekend?
Yeah, no, I feel I was pretty headstrong when he got here that first summer, and we saw what he was doing day in and day out. Certainly, when a guy enters the transfer portal, you watch film and you study his game and you learn about him. And then we're fortunate that both Coach Green and Coach Crawford on our staff had coached him at his previous stops, so they had, they just had some knowledge of his game and things that he did. But you watch guys who really compete, who really care, who want to do the right thing, and you're going to put your faith and belief in those guys. And Nate Heisy is certainly one of those guys for me.
TJ, when you're evaluating potential players or prospective recruits, how much of it, when you look at mental toughness and intangibles, how much of that can be taught, or is it a matter of you got it or you don't?
I'll tell you this, I think Jamarian Bateman's going to come out here in a few minutes and have some questions, and I would say, with him 100%, there's probably not been a recruit that you could see that mental toughness, that consistency of habit right away and how apparent it was. And I think for coaches all the time, it's, well, how do you find that? Well, how do you know? And with Bateman, it jumps off the page right away. You see the intentionality from the time he wakes up until the time he goes to bed. His whole life is geared towards being the best student, athlete, competitor that he can be in every phase of his life. And so he is the standard in terms of what that needs to look like and how we go about doing it. And then, you see Killian Torre as somebody who's just, again, the mental toughness. You can watch it, you can see it, you can feel it with everything that he does. He's somebody that's just such a fierce competitor, and the mental toughness comes from the habits. And then the habits, build the confidence on the court. And then I think you that resolve and that grit comes to you. And then, even with Don Plata, I mean, we're seeing that toughness. We're seeing those multiple efforts. So I think it can come in a lot of shape sizes, a lot of different ways. And I'd say with Plata, you're seeing, feels like every week he takes a step right now. Every week he's getting better. And that's a mental toughness thing where you lock in and say, I can give more, I can do more, I can finish in traffic, I can play through a foul, I can get a big offensive rebound, I can make a big play for my team, I can be at pick and roll coverage and sprint back. And so I think the mental toughness, when you look at those three and you say, what is Iowa State looking for in recruiting? I'd say the mental toughness those three have, all in their own unique ways, is exactly what we look for. And we want to try to find as many guys like Jamarian, Dom, and Killian that we can find.
How much has Dom's ascension maybe helped Blake stay a little more fresh?
Yeah, it's been great because I think, look, there's going to be games where there's fouls. There's going to be games where, like you said, Blake plays longer stretches. He gives multiple efforts in everything he does. We need him to kind of be, facilitator on offense and playmaker on defense. And it feels like there's two of him on defense a lot of times. So as Dom has played better, that's allowed us to make more intentional decisions regarding Blake. Also, the physicality in the Big 12. There's going to be fouls and there's going to be situations. So I've just always believed, especially at that position, to be at your best, you have to have two really good guys, two really good players. And we've been fortunate through the years to have Rob Jones and Hassan Ward, or Oshun Oshuni and Rob Jones, or George Condit and Rob Jones, or Brant Chatfield, Deshaun Jackson. Well, now, with Playden, with Buchanan, we have as formidable of a 1-2 punch at that position as we've had in this program. Those guys are really doing a great job for us.